We find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Extra point forthcoming. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
We just saw what a lot of teams call a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game. That signifies they want to run the football. Yeah, occasionally they'll play action and throw it, but most of the time, those guys on the field means strength, power, run the ball behind them. And now what a lot of teams are doing is they're taking an extra offensive tackle and putting him in a tight end number to give them even more blocking power, and we just saw it on that play.
Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now?
I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
He goes underneath to Freeman. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants move.
Allen hit. He lost the football, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second down, Freeman. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. And able to find Green. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go, let's go, get out, get out. He's tight right here, he's tight on the right.
A second down throw for Prescott. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Prescott now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Prescott now on second down. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. DeForest Buckner in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And the first play will be a field goal try. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now a chance to take advantage of that missed field goal. 1st and 10, way up at the 37. Now it's Jackson, rolling to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation. would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here we go on fourth down with Jackson. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. They toss to Freeman. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes nowhere to go. Here he lost the football, and the Lions have recovered.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. On target over the middle to Hill. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Jackson from the shotgun to Barkley on the check down. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Saquon Barkley, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Lions add on to their lead. And it is now 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. DeForest Buckner able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Run, and run it. Yeah, baby, move.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Play action now. Prescott. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Dak and the offense still out there. They are going to go for it. On 4th, they do snap it to Prescott. Allen has it, left side. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Buying time to his left. Going for it all. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, nice move. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Jeff Heath. Shifts by at the 15. Still going. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Meanwhile, here's a shot for the end zone right away, but it's incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Tyreek Hill on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Lions have got it on cruise control. And it's up and good. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. Kiss him goodbye, Travis Benjamin. He's at the 30, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Travis Benjamin, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he goes out of bounds after a solid return to the 45.
Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get it to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
So here come the Lions now. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment?
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here of this first half. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Green 39!
From the gun, Jackson. And this one's incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Tyreek Hill as the first half is winding down. And the Lions just continue to pour it on. Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. He was looking for Travis Benjamin that time. And now it's 2nd down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Prescott again. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to throw it across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Wide open receiver complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Double tight, double tight. Even. 4 down. Even.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it.
Let's go. Let's finish now.
They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jeff Heath. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long, he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. And Hill with it over the middle. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Prescott on first down. He's going to let this one go deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jeff Heath. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
A terrific run by the rookie Barkley. 45 yards on the ground. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Second down, here's Jackson. He dumps it off to Barkley. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Tyreek Hill, his 21st touchdown. Now for the point after.
Touchdown, baby! Touchdown!
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an off.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Tight right. All right, here we go. 319! 319! Over!
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And last time, 1-play interceptions, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, It's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down.
Hey, 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 hey. Four down.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Being chased out left. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. And his kick here is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one goes for 24 yards.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Prescott. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. That's going to be caught. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now.
And he's going to go down. This will count as a sack, a very short sack, taken down at the 2. Matt Longacre able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of a yard. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Devontae Freeman. His 6th touchdown of the season. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And the Vikings are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
A first down carry for Barkley. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
That's where you belong.
They'll go to Barkley again, and he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.